So welcome everyone today, and this practice is going to address our shoulders and our hips, but in a really nice, gentle way. So we're not here to force the body into pretzel type shapes. Ultimately, your yoga practice is an opportunity to befriend yourself, to be kind. The yogic philosophy word, if you like, is ahimsa, which means non-violence. And that has to begin with us. So I welcome you to this practice today. A couple of bricks or books or something like that would be handy. And if you have a yoga bolster, that's where we're going to start. Now, you might not have a yoga bolster, so you might need to get a couple of pillows and tightly cover them with a blanket. Otherwise, we're just going to make a little bit of a platform for ourselves. So something that you can lean back on, and you might just want to press pause now and go and get that. So the base of the spine will be underneath that support, and then you line back. And I always liken this shape to being on a luxury airliner, but I've never actually been on a luxury airliner, so I can only dream. I'm always in economy. So let's just come to lie back, and we ever so slightly want to tuck our chin. If I get the hands, just lengthen the back of the neck. So this is really the opposite shape to sitting in front of a computer. We're really opening up our chest, but more so the shoulders. So let the shoulders drop and let the palms be up. And maybe the legs are crossed as mine are now, or perhaps you wish to lengthen them in front of you. And just take a moment or two to fidget, to get comfortable. Just because we decide to be still doesn't mean that our mind will always cooperate there. So just take a moment or two to come right here now to this moment. And if you're comfortable, let your eyes softly close. Otherwise, have what we call a soft gaze. So just flutter the eyelashes a little bit. Make sure you're not staring too hard. Whatever is beneath you, can you drop into that support? Maybe it's a bolster, maybe it's a pile of cushions. Our shoulders are said to be the muscles of burden, where we literally carry the weight of the world. So just here, right now, just acknowledge that you don't have to carry that weight, even if it's just for this hour. Just give yourself to whatever support is beneath you. And take a really full, deep, sweet breath in through the nose. Pause at the top of that breath and then let the shoulders melt, the waist soften, the belly relax. And just simply focus on the next 4 breaths, breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose too. And if you can you just have a little pause between the inhales and the exhales? And just invite yourself now to really slow down. So ultimately, yoga is taking care of ourselves. So we're just going to do, while we're resting our shoulders here and our bodies, we're just going to do a little bit of a facial massage. Can you rub the palms of your hands together? And then take the hands just to the side of the head and the fingertips kind of cradling the top of the head. So just almost like you're wearing a little skull cap, and just gently press and then release. So notice as we use the hands, we involve the shoulders, so make sure we're not tensing there. Just do that 2 or 3 times. And now take your fingers, that's the peace finger and the middle finger and index finger, what we call the peace fingers. Take them to the bridge of the nose, just at the corner of the eyes. Lightly press there, and then draw a big pair of glasses around your eyes. So move the fingers up, sweep them across the forehead, get to the corner of the eyebrows, and then do a little circle underneath the eyes. So a little pair of glasses there, or quite a big pair of glasses actually. Really slowly. And the next time our fingers meet at the forehead, the third eye space, just lightly press there and start to stretch the skin of the foreheads outwards until you get to the corner of the eyes, the temples. And when you get to the temples, just circle. So this is always good if we have headaches. And tight shoulders can lead to a tight neck, which leads to headache. So everything's connected. Let's go back to the third eye and just press them and ease those fingers out to the side. And then again, do little circles. And in Western medicine, of course, we go to the doctor for one thing and they look at that one thing, but everything's connected. So where we feel pain is often something going on somewhere else. Let's draw those fingers down to the corner of the chin now, the pointy bits of the jaw, and just relax there. So many of us hold tension here in the jawbone where we clench. And then let's go back to the temples. So again, just a little circular motion there. And bring those fingers down. And again, just circle. This can be a nice little thing to do at the desk in the afternoon. And then release. And just take the palms beside you now, face up. And just take 3 deep breaths into the center of the heart. And the mind is a really useful tool. We use it all day. But for this practice, can we drop awareness into the heart space? And let that tell us what it is that we need to feel nourished, nurtured, loved, supported. One more breath. And then really slowly come up. So very sadly, we're going to put that bolster to one side for now, but we will get it later. So I think everyone loves to hug a bolster. So we're going to come into an upright position now and just do a little bit more for our neck and shoulders. So coming into a cross-legged position now, roll the shoulders back. And if you were cross-legged on the bolster, see if you can get your opposite shin in front. So grow nice and tall as you lift the heart. Just feel that wide open chest again. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. And reach high and immediately drop those shoulders if they've risen. And then just lift the heart and chest as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring the right hand to the side and let the left arm reach up and over. And then just start to turn the chest towards the ceiling. Little bend in that right arm. Make sure the shoulder's not tensing there. Just take 2 deep breaths. Let these breaths be really full and spacious all the way down the left side body. And now this left hand that's in the air is going to come to the right ear, and you're just going to lift up and press the left ear towards the left shoulder. So again, it is a little stretch now for the right side of the neck. Just pause there to see how that feels. And you might stay here or just lift the right fingertips about a couple of inches. Let them hover as you reach into them. And now wrap the right arm around you so your fingertips come to the left waist. Now that might be too strong for the shoulder, so see how that feels. Just see if you can really soften there and go gooey. And now breathe. So we have to distinguish, is this painful or is it a good stretch? And sometimes it can be really hard to distinguish that, so just check. One more breath. And so first of all, we release the right fingers back to the floor. Now take the left hand to the left ear and press your head back up. Let both arms rest now. Just close your eyes. Feel that flow of energy towards the right shoulder, all the way down the right side. And then we're just going to lean back and recross the shins. So just doing all of that on side 2. Let gentle be the guiding word. Ahimsa here. So kindness, softness. Left hand down, breathing in. Right arm rises up, tip to the side. Feel the breath fill up the right side of your body. Soften the shoulders away from the ear. Notice all that habitual pattern of tensing maybe. And now take the right hand to the left ear as we just press the right ear towards the right shoulder. And this side might be different. So just pause there with the left fingers down. Feel like you're moving your breath into any tightness in the neck. And now lift up the left fingers, press them away from you. Final option, you might wrap them round. So again, only if it feels good. Again, notice now, is this tension? Is it tight? Is it sensation? What is it that you're experiencing? Just noticing. And now release the left fingers back to the floor. Take the right hand to the ear. Press yourself up. and pause. And just roll the shoulders back. So circling the shoulders, maybe you can feel the shoulder blades glide and slide up and down the spine. Take them to the opposite direction now, kind of really big shrugs. And then let's come on to all fours. So thinking about the shoulders now, take your hands as wide as you can underneath your shoulders, and then rotate your inner elbows forward a little bit. Notice how that kind of fixes the shoulder blades onto the spine, and then press mindfully into each fingertip as you begin your cat and cow. As you inhale, the waistline drops, the heart rises. Maybe linger as you exhale, feeling the shoulder blades really spread and open. With your breath, do 2 more of those. One more time. So now we're going to add, it's called tidal wave. I don't think this was from ancient India. As we exhale, we sit back onto the heels like child's pose. As we inhale, we sweep the right arm forward as if we're doing front crawl. Exhale back, swim the left arm forward. Nice and steady, nice and slow, really feeling the shoulders loosen up. And we'll just do 1 more on each side. So again, all of this just really helping the shoulders. And then we come to a neutral spine. So we're going to do some sort of fancy footwork now. Bring that right leg behind you now and spread the toes, lift the heart. And as you exhale, bring the right foot between the hands. And as that right foot plants down, take the right hand to the right thigh and press your right thigh forward as you lift your left arm up. And again, we're going to circle. So we're going to lift the spine, turn the left arm behind you. And as you exhale, sweep the arm in front and drop into the hips a little bit. Inhale, grow tall. The slower we go, the more you feel the shoulders. Exhale, we come in front. One more time. And this time, as the arm comes up, we let the right arm join it and we lift the heart and chest as we take a deep breath into the whole body. Exhale, we come back down again and just sweep that right leg behind you. Just give it a little shake. And then keep the right arm lifted, because this is where we're going to come into some strange work. We're now going to pivot to the side for a balance. So keep those right toes spread as we lift the right arm up towards the sky. So we've started with shoulders. We're going to think about our hips now. Can you exhale and tap the toe down? Inhale, lift it up. So start to feel that hip strengthen almost immediately. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift it up. And just pause there in this balance as you spread the fingers, spread the toes, take a breath. And take the right hand down, take the right knee down. Here we are again on all fours. And we're just going to take a little breather in child's pose. So sinking back down onto the hips, drop the forehead down, extend the fingers in front of you, and then really consciously soften. So bend the elbows, maybe rub the forehead in the earth. And just come back to those little pauses between the breaths. That's where we want to rest our thoughts. Take 2 deep breaths all the way into the back body. And then let's come back up again. So take a moment to really, where we place our hands does impact on our shoulders. So if shoulders are tight, go a little wider with the hands. Pull your tummy and let's take that left leg back and spread the toes. Inhale. Exhale, step that left foot between the hands. So we press down onto the left thigh with the left hand just to help us swoop that right arm up. So inhale, grow tall, lift up. Exhale, circle that right arm behind you. And then sweep it forward as you drop into the hips. So 2 more of those. Perhaps noticing which shoulder feels the tightest, because they're always different. And this time, as the right arm comes up, we lift the left arm too. Breathe into the whole body. Exhale, just drop those shoulders down. 1 more deep breath. And some fancy footwork again. So we take the hands down, we sweep the left leg behind you, and we see how our balance is today as we turn to the side. And our balance might not be great. That's completely normal. I'm just going to change where I'm facing so I can still face you. So inhale, that left leg comes back down. Inhale, we lift. Sorry, exhale down. Exhale, toes tap. Inhale, it lifts. Exhale, toes tap. Inhale, it lifts. And see if we can balance there in this half moon. So drop that left shoulder blade back down. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. Take 2 deep breaths. And once again, we pivot onto all fours. So just really tune in. This is a kind practice. Do you need to do more resting in child's pose? Do you need to come into down dog? What are you choosing as opposed to what you think you should be doing? So down dog for the hips, we might go a little wider in the feet, sway side to side, shake out the head. All fours is also good. So really pick which serves you. And then you might do little bounces in the knees. That's good for our lymph system. Just breathe. Make sure we're not adding tension to the shoulders. Spread the hands wide, feel the shoulder blades on the spine. And take 2 full deep breaths. And then let's just walk our feet towards the hands. And take a moment there to find your center. So press both feet down the center of the heels. Interlace your palms now at the base of the skull. And just press the skull lightly into the hands as you sway. Notice the elbows. Can they draw up towards the earth just to soften the shoulders? And then a little bend in the knees. Let's slowly, slowly peel up to stand. And we're standing with our hands behind the head. Again, lift the heart now as we let the head drop back. Remind yourself that there is support there as you breathe into the whole body. And bring the hands down. So we're going to skip vinyasas today. So we're going a little bit more gentle for the shoulders, but we're still going to strengthen. So as we stand here now in Tadasana, mountain pose, just going to work on the hips again. I'll face you so you can see what I'm doing. Press the weight into your right leg, and without leaning to the right, can you lift your left leg out to the side, keep the foot flexed, and then bring it back again. I'm going to do that 3 times. This really helps strengthen. So when you think about walking, we're always moving the leg forward and back. We very rarely do it to the side. And then drop that foot next to the right and just take a moment to land. Let's do that on side 2. Breathing in, right leg out to the side. The slower we go, the more strength we build. So 2 more of those. And you can probably feel that hip getting stronger as you do this. And drop it back. So I'm going to face the front now as we do that 1 more time. This time, breathe in, left leg comes out to the side. Just stand there and maybe bend the right knee. And then lift it back up again. Breathing in, we bend, then we straighten. Breathing in, we bend, then we straighten. And now sweep that leg behind you for a version of Warrior 3. So we're holding onto the hips now as we gaze forward. Take the toes of the back foot down and breathe. So really strengthening that right standing leg. And now let's come back into the lunge. So the back heel is bouncy here. Let's take the arms up to the sky. So breathe in, reaching up. As we exhale, lean forward and take your little fingers behind you and just pause there. Again, strengthening that right hip. Inhale, rise up again. Exhale, come forward. So nice and slow, we're building up strength. Final time, inhale, come up. Stay there this time and take the hands towards the heart in prayer. Take a deep breath. And then very gently lower that back knee down. So we're going to come into a twist now, but also for our shoulders. As you pull the tummy in, we'll take that left elbow across the right leg and then press the left hand into the right, look over your right shoulder. Roll that right shoulder down. Feel the hips now and probably the shoulders. Deep, deep breath. Taking a prayer twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. So left knee down, right shoulder back. Where do you feel sensation here? And then gently come out of it. Take the hands either side of that right leg and we're going to start to wiggle the right leg forward and back. So breathing in, we bend the knee. Breathing out, we straighten the right leg. Breathing in, we bend. Breathing out, we straighten. And can we stay this time as that leg straightens? And notice if we've lifted our shoulders to our ears, because that's what we do when we tense. So take 2 deep breaths. And now re-bend that right knee. And we're going to hop back up again, this time into Warrior 1. So as you bend the right knee, take the back foot down, but we drop the heel. So you might be familiar. So it's almost like the lunge we came in, but the back foot is down. A little bit more for the shoulders now. Take the palms in front of you, elbows together, palms together. And as you inhale, open your arms like little doors. And as you exhale, close them back. Inhale, pin them open again, all for the shoulders. Exhale, pin them together. Final time, inhale. Exhale together. And this time, as the arms come out to the side, we'll interlace them behind you. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. And as you breathe out, come to a forward fold. So let the head be heavy. Look at the back foot and just see how you can lift those shoulders. Don't go too far, just ease into them and take 3 deep breaths. So this is for hips and shoulders. And slowly, slowly, slowly come all the way up. Take the back foot in and just take a moment there. One hand to heart, one hand to tummy, maybe rock from side to side. You might feel that subtle flow of energy down the right side. And let's do that on side 2. So we might not be doing the strengthening stuff of vinyasas, but it's still quite a hard, quite full on. So press the weight into the left foot and breathe in as you lift that right leg out to the side. Just take a moment there. And then extend that leg behind you. So long spine as you gaze forward. Turn those right toes down and breathe in. Notice your shoulders. Make sure they're not tensing by the ears like earrings. And then we drop the foot. So first variation, the heel is lifted as we come into the high lunge. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, lean forward. Take the little fingers behind. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we come forward. Inhale, we rise. And so gently, we're going to lower the right knee down. So coming into a shape, a low lunge. So sorry, it's a little bit bobbing up and down. Hands to heart, lift and grow tall. And as you exhale, you bring the right elbow across the midline of the body. Roll the left shoulder back. Make sure your neck is long. And maybe you look over your left shoulder. And now can you feel a breath into the right side body as you take 2 full breaths? And then we come forward. So if our fingers don't like being on the floor, we might take them up onto books. We're going to lengthen the front leg and then bend. So in and out. Just really crack my knee then, so hearing your joints. And as we lengthen the left leg and stay this time, just let this be an opportunity to notice if we habitually let our shoulders lift. Because we often do, when this will show you your stress reaction, this shape, generally, because it's quite a strong one. And now let's re-bend that left knee, hippity hop the back foot in a little bit for warrior 1. So the right heel is down. We have 2 strong legs, front knee is bent. And then bring the arms in front of you, almost like you're going to open the book. So inhale, open. Exhale, come back. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale, come back. Final time. And we close. And then let's take the interlace behind, maybe the opposite way. If that's just too much, we leave it. Breathing in, we raise the heart, we raise the chest. Exhale, we come to a fold. And press well into the center of the right heel as you let the head just hang heavily there. And take 2 more full breaths. Notice the body. It's probably talking to you. What is it saying? The hips, the shoulders. Breathing in, we lift up. And then we step the back foot in to meet the front foot. And just gently sway from side to side. And pause. So more of a gentle stretch for the shoulders now, as well as a side stretch. As you breathe in, sweep the arms up to the sky. Hold on to the left wrist. And just tip to the right. And just stop there. Just stop. Press into the left heel. Bounce up a centimetre. Inhale, lift. And now as you exhale, we're going to go all the way to the earth in a half circle. So really slow down. Feel the shoulders. As you get to the bottom, let the head be weighty and heavy. Lengthen the back of the neck. Breathe in. Exhale, press into the feet and come up the same way. So half circle to your right. Pause at the top. I just think this feels so lovely. Breathing in, grow tall, lengthen that left side. Exhale, tip to the right. Bounce up a centimetre, inhale. Exhale all the way down to the earth. No rush. Make sure the neck is long at the bottom. Breathe in. Exhale, slowly come back up. So feel the shoulders, feel the energy coming into the left side. Just do one more in your own breathing pattern. Dangling at the bottom, releasing the neck, breathing in. Back when you're ready. And as you get to the top, just let those hands come down beside you in this pose we call Tadasana. Again, feel the flow of energy, the tingles, the warmth. And breathe into the whole body. Just notice how your shoulders feel. And let's do that side too. Breathing in, we lift. So 3 in total. I'll just talk you through the first one. Exhale, sink to the left. Bounce up a centimetre. Exhale all the way down to the left, to the ground. Pause at the bottom and breathe in. Press into the feet. Slowly breathe your way back up again. Pause. So 2 more of those in your own time, leaning to the left. And just enjoy the simplicity of doing nothing else. There are no responsibilities right now. Lift the fingers, lift the heart, breathing in. Exhale, just let the arms drop down to the ground. And just swing the arms a little bit now, like a pendulum. So again, this can be really good for our shoulders. Just letting everything go. Feel like you're releasing things through the fingertips. All the stuff that we worry about. And then come to stillness. Pause there. Lean to the right. And once again, let that left leg come up to the side. So try not to tilt with it. Pause there. Once again, hold on to hips. Let's come back into warrior 3. Hold on to the hips. And this time we're going to tap the left foot behind the right heel. So bend the right knee, let the foot tap behind the heel, and then open back up again into warrior 3. Do that 2 more times. Again, we're strengthening the hip. One more time. And again, we pause in warrior 3, spread the toes, lengthen the spine. This time we step back into warrior 2. I'm going to face you again. So right heel is back, right finger sits forward. Open the arms wide, open the heart, gaze forward, deep breath. And this time, exhale, hold the, interlace the palms behind you. So we did this earlier in warrior 1, we're doing it in warrior 2 now. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. We're going to take the right head. No, we aren't. We've only got one head, haven't we? Last time I checked. The head to the right foot. So for all the 2-headed people watching this on catch up, it's your right head we're looking at now. So breathing in. Try not to dump the tummy on the right thigh. So we're still strengthening that right hip. One more breath. And press into the feet as you come up. Release the arms. Just give them a little shake. Rest is coming after this side. And left hand to the back leg, right arm lifts up and over the ear. Reach from right waist to right fingers and take the deepest breath that you can into the right lung. And then the forearm comes to the thigh, the left arm lifts up and over, but in the spirit of the shoulders, look to the ground and bring your fingertips in front of you as you do a really big circle around the body. Arm lifts as you inhale, exhale, it comes forward. Take your time, we're just easing into the shoulders one final time. And now as the left arm comes up, we're going to take it to the sky. We might just wrap it around us. So perhaps it rests on the lower back, or maybe the right fingers come to the right thigh. Just easing into that left shoulder. Gaze up if you can and take 2 deep breaths. And slowly, slowly, slowly we lift up. Just straighten the leg and bend it a couple of times. So we are going to come to some long, restful poses today, but one more bit of effort now as we come into this side, a little bit of the pattern that we've been doing today. We're going to take our half moon balance. So the brick is going to come into the front of the foot. I invite you to play with this, the brick or book, whatever you have. Keep the left hand onto the hip to begin with while you establish yourself in the shape. So the fingertips come to the brick. You might then turn, flex the foot. I'm going to see if we can drop the foot and lift it a little bit. So same pattern, just strengthening the hip. So toes might tap down, then they lift up. Toes tap down, and then they lift up. One more time. And as they lift up this time, we might lift the left arm. We might start to look up to the left fingers. We might not. So again, just see what's going on for you today. One more breath. And very gently, let's come all the way to stand and land in warrior two. Well done. And take the hands to the hips. We're going to turn the feet forward now. So we're long ways on the mat and come to a forward fold. Breathing in, we lift up. Exhale, we fold. And forward folds always invite us to surrender, to let go as we bow. So bowing down to ourselves, basically. Just come to stillness now. Notice the shoulders. Have you tensed them again? Can you shake out the head? And breathe into the whole body. And take 2 more rounds of breath. Can you now really start to linger in those spaces between the breaths? Slowly, 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 we come up and pause at the top, holding onto your hips. Feel the heels, feel the toes. Just close your eyes, feel the shoulders, feel the hips. Has anything changed, anything shifted? And then we'll step once again towards the front of the mat. So last little bit of standing strength work, and then we're going to really start to bring this down. So pause there in Tadasana, the pose of mountain. And the idea being, of course, that mountains stand tall with all sorts of weather around them. Some days it's sunny, some days it's rainy. Some days there's a storm, some days there's snow. But we stand strong through it all. So breathing in, breathing out, whatever the weather system of our life is doing right now. And weight into the left foot now. Let's breathe in and tap that right leg out to the side. And once again, let's circle it around to warrior three. So hold on to the hips. Remember, we're strengthening now. As we exhale, we bend the left knee and tap the right foot behind the left heel. And then we extend out again. So this is not easy. And so important as we get older to really strengthen the muscles, because it's what we call muscular atrophy. And then just linger in this balance for the final time. One more breath. Let's come into warrior two. And extend those arms out wide, palms are down, roll the shoulders back. Take a breath in as you lift up the crown of the head. And then interlace the palms again. Same way, maybe the opposite way to earlier, breathing as we grow up. So we've only got one head this time. Let's drop it down towards the left foot. And take a moment to plant the feet down without scrunching or screwing anything up, and just breathe in. And breathe out. 2 more breaths. And slowly, slowly press into the feet as you lift up. Let those arms come out again, just sway them a little bit. And let's take the forearm to the thigh as the right arm reaches up and over. And again, we're going to circle. So really take your time. We'll circle backwards this time. Take the arm behind you and then in front of you to the ground. Inhale. Can you really feel the shoulder fibers? We can only do that if we do this slowly. And then keep that right arm up next time. Gaze up to the thumb. Take a breath. And then look down as you lift yourself back up. Let's just reverse our warrior. Right hand back, left arm lifts. Take a breath. And come back up again. I actually forgot to do the bind then. So let's just lean back. Let's just take the right hand around us. If we did that, roll the right shoulder back. Just take another little breath there to stretch the right shoulder. It's a little bit out of sync. And back we come up again. So holding onto the hips, we're going to come into that half moon balance, Ardha Chandrasana. And again, the kindness isn't just being kind to the body, but it's being kind to ourselves with our thoughts. So those days that we're wobbly, often we have a barrage of criticisms, our inner shitty committee. So just notice that and let it all go as we play with balance. And let the word be play. So we spread the right toes, we turn around, maybe we lift up the arm, it doesn't really matter, but can we just lift and lower that back leg? The same sort of motif that we've been doing. Just discovered my creaky floorboard. And maybe just stay in this expansive pose, spread the toes, a really good stretch for the hips, this one. Deep, deep, deep breath. And then very stealthily lift up and land in warrior two. Hands to hips, final time, feet parallel, breathing in as we grow tall. Exhale to lower. Shake out the head, let the head be weighty. One more little stretch for the shoulders now. Press the right hand to the ground and open the left arm to the side. Reach tall. And as you exhale, slowly bring the left hand down. Inhale, right arm lifts. So check the shoulders throughout. We're not trying to add tension. Do one more on each side. And next time that right hand comes down, maybe we just hold on to our ankles with the hands. Let the head descend down to the earth. And take 2 deep breaths. Once again, let's hold onto the hips. Slowly, slowly come all the way up. And step towards the front of the mat. So we'll leave the active poses now as we come down to the ground. We're really going to start to take it down a notch, but still thinking about our hips and our shoulders. So coming down to the earth. We're going to do a little back bend now that is a little bit, in fact, we're going to do different variations of it. So let's start with our knees and feet hip width apart. As a rough guide, you can interlace, you can touch the heels with the middle fingers. And really slowly, let's peel up. So breathing in, we're lifting up our lower back, mid back and upper back. Breathing out, let's come down, upper back, mid back, lower back. So if anyone has back issues, you might just want to stay lifting up and lowering. These are called fluid bridges. They're quite nice. However, if you are looking to strengthen the back and it's feeling that will be beneficial today, interlace your palms beneath you, snuggle the shoulders underneath, and again, just lift up the hips. Keep your chin tucked and press those little fingers down into the ground. And we're here if we can for 5 breaths. You come out if that's too demanding today. And slowly, 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 slower, lower when you're ready. It's okay to stay up a little bit longer if you have a bit more juice today. So either staying up or just coming down, swaying the knees side to side. So our next back bend is just going to be a little different today. Take the feet as wide as the mat. We don't interlace the palms this time, so have the hands rested. So this is a little bit of a hip stretch as well. Press into the palms as you peel up. And you feel that you kind of lift a lot higher on the spine here. So just pause there. You might feel more going on in the hips and the glutes. Just see what is going on. And now find the breath again as you bring it to a really nice, smooth, steady pace. So again, an invitation for up to 5 breaths. Slowly, slowly, slowly come down. And just land at the bottom, take one hand to your heart, one hand to the tummy, breathing in, breathing out. So this final one is the most weird. We're going to bring the feet together and let the knees come wide. Now, so far, that might be a shape that's familiar to you. But once again, take the palms flat. We're going to lift back up into that shape from here. So press into the little toe side. Hips won't get ever so high, but just lift up from here into a sort of weird hippie back bend. So this, again, really helps to strengthen. Two more breaths if you can. And then gently, gently come down. And as the hips land now, let's wiggle the knees together, but take the feet wide. So bringing that opposite hip rotation. Let the arms rest on the tummy and bring the knees side to side like little windscreen wipers. So we're going to stay on the ground now, just easing into the hips. And then let's bring the feet parallel. So there's two options for what we're doing next. We'll go through them in stages. The left knee is bent. We lift the right leg up. We flex the right foot. And then we press the right knee away from us. So we have a little triangle shape in the legs. And keep the lower back pressing into the earth. So your first option is just to stay here. A nice stretch for the right hip. Your second option is to lift the left thigh and interlace your palms behind the thigh. Now remember, we've just spent a long time relaxing our shoulders, so make sure they're not tensing. There is a third option, it's not for everyone, and that is where you close the gap between the legs. So this is called cow face pose, but we're doing it on our back. And then you might hold on to opposite shins. So I'll show you lifting up. Lifting up, it looks like this, but we're doing it on our back. So that isn't for everybody's hips. For some people, it just feels really miserable. So lying on the back, and I've heard this described as lazy cow, which I think is brilliant. So just sway a little bit side to side. So again, just honor the hips that you have today. And then just come to stillness. If you've got the supine Gomukhasana, the lying down cow face pose, maybe bring those knees in a little closer. Check that the shoulders aren't now tensing. And deeply, deeply, deeply breathe. And relax. Undo the legs. Just take a moment there with the feet hip width apart. Again, you might just knock the knees together. You might do a little twist side to side. I'll lift the left leg up. So do this in stages, even if you know which variety was your preference, because this side will be different. So first we take the left foot below the right knee. We press the left knee away. Option one, stay here and breathe. Option two, maybe we feed our arms between the gap. We bring that right thigh in towards us. Make sure the shoulders are not like earrings. Option three, we close the gap and we bring the knees in towards us. So we're not looking for the one that takes our breath away. We're looking for the one that is a challenge, but not an overwhelming, breathtaking away challenge. So just be where you are. Take 3 more breaths, whichever shape you've taken. There might be a little rock if that helps. A little bit of pressure on the lower back. And undo the legs. And let's take a happy baby now. So holding on to the ankles, maybe the big toes, another hip stretch. Ease those knees towards the earth. What we want is our bum and our shoulders to be down. So if that's not the case, then just hold on to the ankles or the shins and just, again, a gentle rock. You might want to straighten one leg as you bring one heel to the groin and then the opposite way. So hopefully hips are happy today. When our hips have got are softened and released, our spine has more space. So everything's connected, the spine, the hips, the back. sometimes where we feel pain isn't actually the place of imbalance in the body. So really important that we see ourselves as whole. And now, what we're going to try and do, let this be fun, it's not a big deal. We're going to see if from here we can rock up. So holding onto the toes, lifting up, pull the tummy in as you rock up. And I'm not doing it straight away. And then we're going to come to a seated position with the feet together and the knees wide. So that might not be ever so elegant, but no one's watching. So place those heels together, place those toes together. Once again, we have that lovely diamond shape. This is a pose called cobbler's pose. So imagining your feet. And as you lean forward, open your feet out. And that's kind of where this pose comes from. So as we open the feet out, the little toes are touching. We breathe in as we lift. And as we exhale, we fold. And you might just let your hands, your elbows and forearms be little weights to help you press open those thighs. Now, be honest with the hips. If this is painful, please don't do it. Just back off a little bit. Otherwise, we just drop now and take 3 to 4 deep breaths. And every breath out, an opportunity to let go of something, an old habit, an old pattern, a repetitive thought. Just soften. So just good to do forward fold after back bends. And then slowly, slowly, let's come all the way up again. And as we bring those knees together, once again, we're going to come onto the ground, but this time we're going to stay there. So we're finishing off with a twist. And if you do have that bolster handy, it can be really nice to use that for support. So taking it to your left hip, because we're going to do a little stretch for our shoulders too. So maybe there's some support for the legs. It really doesn't matter if not. Just wiggle your hips about 2 inches to the right and then bring those knees in and drop them over to the left. So if there's support there, it's just a little bit nicer for the shoulder. And now with the left arm in front of you, you're going to bring the right hand and just place it onto the left wrist. And then really wiggle your left shoulder away. So we're going to just do something for the shoulders here. As you breathe in, take your right thumb, almost like a clock, and just press the right thumb over your head. So it comes from the left wrist over the head. So we're doing a really big semicircle and then all the way behind you. So your arms are outstretched. And as you breathe there, now we're going to close the arms like a clamshell. So you lift that right arm to the sky. And you let the right hand, once again, rest on the left wrist. You're going to do that 2 more times. Take that right thumb and do a big overhead circle. Let the thumb touch the floor. Open those arms wide. And then breathe in as you close the arms like a book. Final time, right thumb, big half rainbow over your head. And this time we leave it where it lands. So the right arm now is wide open. We gaze towards the right thumb. I'm going to take 5 full, very deep breaths here. And every time you breathe out, can you soften that right shoulder blade? Slowly come back to center. Bring the knees bent. Wiggle the hips back in line. And if you're not sure, just make sure your nose is in line with the knees. That's a really good indicator. And then if you did have a prop that your knees were resting on, just shift it now to the right. I'm not going to use mine this time because it's harder to see what I'm doing on the camera. So just pause there. But I really invite you to use props. Move the hips a little to the left and then let the knees drop over to the right. So props help the body relax a lot quicker. They're a really powerful way to get into deep relaxation. So we're just going to close our arms initially. So that left hand rests on the right wrist and then lengthen the right arm in front of you. As we breathe in, we take that left thumb behind you. Do a big rainbow half circle. And as that left knee arm opens, we then close it like a book. And do 2 more of those, breathing in, the thumb opens, big semicircle. Exhale, it closes. Final time. And as the left arm lands, gaze towards that left thumb, soften the left shoulder and take 5 deep breaths. Maybe these last couple of breaths, there's a little bit of a sigh as well, that invitation just to release any last little bit of stale energy. And then bring those knees back in towards the chest. So I'm going to sit up now to finish this practice. You're going to stay here on your back. The prop that you may have had, you might now want to put behind your knees. That can be really nice. Again, to ease out the hips and to soften the lower back. Take the palms, maybe the hands are resting on your belly. Maybe the palms are face up beside you. Just consciously place the hands as an aid to your relaxation. Wherever the hands are, our shoulders are affected. So kind of making that connection. And let's stop. I'm just going to finish with a little quote from Jeff Foster. So as you soften the body into the earth, soften the shoulders, soften the face, and return to focusing on that next breath in. Just going to read this little bit of prose. Whatever is happening in your life, I'd like to invite you to slow right down. There is no urgency. Summer does not rush towards autumn. One tiny blade of grass is not trying to grow faster than its neighbour. The planets spin lazily in their orbits. This ancient universe is in no hurry. But the mind, feeling so divided from this, wants answers now, wants solutions now, wants to know so badly. It wants to reach its precious conclusions. And ultimately, it wants to be in control. But you are not the mind. Mind is an aspect of the whole, but cannot capture the whole. So slow down, friend. Take a deep and conscious breath. Trust the place where you are, the place of no answers yet, the precious place of not knowing. This place is sacred, for it is 100% life. Don't try to rush to the next scene in the movie of me. Be here in this scene now, the only scene there is. Now, the place where questions rest and creative solutions can grow. So settling into this now. Let everything rest, let everything soften. Relaxing the face, the jaw, shoulders, hips. The weightiness of your legs. And breathe into this sacred, special place that we're sharing now. And just rest here now as if the whole body breathes in, the whole body. And make these next 3 breaths a little deeper as you sweep through the body, just noticing internally any last tiny places that might be tense. Can those breaths out be a way of releasing that tension? And you might need to honor the body now as it is and stay here longer if you have that time. Or you might come to close the practice if you've just given yourself this allocated time. Whatever you choose is the right choice. And we'll come up to a comfortable seat. And we'll take our hands to prayer. And as we breathe in, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Inhale, arms rise up, really circling those shoulders out tenderly. Exhale, hands back to your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.